What is going on YouTube? Hopefully you're having a very good day. Today in this video I'm giving my review on the War for the Planet of the Apes movie because I went to an early screening. In fact, I went to the premiere for this movie, to the UK premiere, and this was actually my very first premiere for any movie ever, and I was really excited to go to it. So before we begin with the review, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to get more movie reviews, and if you're already a subscriber, make sure you turn on the notifications so that you don't miss out on my future videos. Like this video and share this video with your friends as well to show your support. So this review is going to mainly be non-spoiler, so don't worry if you haven't seen the movie already, which most of you haven't because I went to an early screening. But if I do want to include spoilers, then I will let you know in advance and you guys could skip like 30 seconds or so, but mostly non-spoilers. So I just want to get something off my chest. I just want to say how great this movie actually was. It was a well-made movie, the final chapter in the Planet of the Apes trilogy, and they left off with a bang. So Caesar, who's of course the main character in this movie, and of course throughout the entire trilogy was based around Caesar, his character. So he in this movie is old, worn out and tired. You can see it through the facial expressions, and I'm pretty sure you can see it through the pictures that I'm revealing to you right now as you're watching this movie review. You can see that he's just worn out, he's just tired, and one of his main goals for the movie was to get his family of apes to this safe house, kind of like how Logan was with Laura and the rest of the other young mutants was. And now that I mentioned Logan, this movie was vastly similar to Logan in various different ways, and I might mention some of the ways at the end of the video. That's when we'll get into the spoiler territory stuff. But as of right now, let's just focus on the Planet of the Apes strictly. So that was one of Caesar's main goals in the movie, but I'm not going to say the other one right now because it's more spoilery. So I may mention it towards the end of the video when I talk about how Logan and the War of the Planet of the Apes are similar. So if you want to know about that, then stay tuned towards the end. So I'm pretty sure by now most of you know that there's a little girl in this movie who is speechless. And how does she do? Well, I'm here to tell you that she actually did a very fantastic job at communicating to the audience and had a very good connection without saying a single word. So the actress who played that character did a fantastic job, and I really applaud that. You get emotionally attached to her, especially when you find out what actually happened to her and what happened to other human beings as well. You get emotionally attached, and that's one of the things that the movie did really well. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in the cinemas for the first time, I'm not gonna lie, I slept for about 10 minutes, and that was the first time I ever slept in any movie ever. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Don't get me wrong, I think it's better than Rise. But with War of the Planet of the Apes, I was engaged at all times. I would definitely say this is the best movie in the trilogy. It was better than Rise, it was better than Dawn. But Dawn though, even though I did sleep for about 10 minutes in the cinema when I first watched it, I will say it's the second best, but War is definitely the best for me in the trilogy, despite the fact that War had the least amount of talking in it. Yet there were a fair amount of talking between the human characters, but when you compare it to something like Rise of the Planet of the Apes or even Dawn, you can tell that War has far less communication compared to the previous two movies. But there is a decent amount of communication into this movie, don't get me wrong though. So now I'm going to talk about the villain of the movie, and forgive me because I really cannot remember his name, so I'm just going to refer to him as the villain of the movie because I can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah, I really love the villain of this movie because he had a very strong motivation of doing what he was doing. He had a strong reasoning, he had a good backstory. I really loved it. They explained it thoroughly. In his last scene of the movie, something very powerful happened to him, and it was very emotional, it was very moving because of his backstory, because of why he was doing what he's doing. You can sympathize with him, and it really hit you during that moment. And if you watch the movie, you would know what I'm talking about here. I don't want to give away too much details. And of course, we have a new addition to the Ape family, and I'm gonna say that he was by far the standout point of the movie in terms of comedy, in terms of comic relief. He was definitely the funniest part of the movie. The whole theater was in utter joy whenever he opened his mouth, basically, because every time he opened his mouth, something funny came out. So the newest addition to the Ape family was definitely an enjoyable part of the movie. And yeah, so that is essentially my non-spoiler part of the video, my non-spoiler part of War for the Planet of the Apes. Now I'm going to move into spoiler territory when I'm going to compare Logan to War for the Planet of the Apes, and I'm going to talk about the ending as well, which links to Logan as well. So essentially, they're both trying to steer a group of people or an individual to somewhere safe where they won't be harmed. A specific place, by the way. This is not any random place, but a specific place. And in the end, they eventually do manage to succeed in getting them to their safe place, but not without them being killed off in the process. Yes, they actually killed off Caesar in the end of War for the Planet of the Apes, just like they did with Logan. And it was a very emotional ending, and I really applaud that. So yeah, that is my non-spoiler slash spoiler review for War for the Planet of the Apes. What did you guys think about the movie? If you have already watched it, and if you haven't watched it, are you very excited for the movie? Let me know what you think about it. Share your thoughts down below in the comments. So if you like this movie review, give it a thumbs up, share this with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later for more videos.